Critical hit Punch All Nazis takes place in the early days of World War II and combines high adventure with cosmic horror. All dates, locations, and historical events are thrown out the window in order to create a fun story, so don't put too much thought into historical inaccuracies. All accents are done poorly, but with love, and no disrespect is intended. Last time
on Critical Hit.
And Doc, you kind of get this weird feeling that something's watching.
So everybody try to make sure to protect your minds.
Ah! Gaboon Vipers!
I think we've reached the Forgotten City. These pillars, and he's kind of pointing at some of the things are talking about Zerzura, but these pillars have to be 300 feet high. You have reached the outskirts of the Forgotten City. The two obelisks that stand canted in the sand have been there for thousands of years, and the sand has just buried itself 2/3 up the way of the height of these obelisks, which still mean that like 100 feet of obelisk is still sticking out of the sand. Monty is like, yeah, I think this is the main gateway to the city. We should probably go this way. Good eye, Dutch. We would have missed this completely had you not had your keen eyesight going.
Oh, sure. Good job, everyone, on freaking out. Otherwise, we might have missed it.
So Monty looks around. He's like, look, the story about this city is that in a single day and night that the sands came in and engulfed the entire city. So the fact that we see these two relics of the city poking out of the sand is quite remarkable. We're not going to see buildings sticking up out of the sand. We need to be looking for like a cave entrance or something, because everything's going to be hundreds of feet underground at this point. Even the tallest buildings would be hundreds of feet underground.
Wow.
So be on the lookout for a cave or an opening.
Okay.
And Lizelle seems very, like, her eyes are just like electric. She's like so excited that she's finally here. Oh, I'm going to be a doctor soon, I can tell.
Dutch was going to ask about, like, wouldn't everything just be filled with sand? But he seems pretty, like, he doesn't seem bothered by that prospect, presumably. So I just was going to keep it to myself.
Okay. So everybody piles back in and you start to drive slowly up and down the dunes. And then sure enough, you see at the bottom of a dune, there is an opening of some kind. Monty's like, I think that's it. You pull up, you can all get out and approach the entrance of this. It does look like a cave leading into a tunnel under the ground. And the interesting thing about the desert is that because it is so dry, it does a pretty good job of preserving things. And as you approach the cave, you can see like what looks like a really old campfire. You can see torches stuck into the ground, but this looks like this hasn't been burned in ages. I mean, it looks ancient, but well preserved. Sanjay is digging around in the remains of the fire and everything. Yeah, this is an old fire, Dr. Smith. This is really old. I wonder if this is the remains of Doc Jacobs' expedition.
How long ago did they come through?
That's like 60 years.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So for like a torch or, charcoal to still be here, that well preserved, not blown away or anything like that, that says something.
It says evil magic.
Could be.
Well, I guess we'll. Should we head in?
Sure. So this is clearly not just like an entrance to a tomb or anything like that. It feels like more of a break. Like if the city had been covered in a dome and then covered with sand, this would be like you broke through the ceiling is what this cave looks like as you examine it. But you can see a path that kind of twists and turns down in between these very tall walls, which were at probably one point buildings. And so you're kind of maybe this would be a street in between buildings as you would be going down. But this is a very, very dark entrance. It's really hard to make anything out beyond a few feet. You can tell that it's much cooler inside, and that would be a plus.
Always is.
Give me a survival plus insight check, please.
Survival and insight?
Mm-hmm. Nice, one success. There is an odd smell. It's a smell that you're familiar. I mean, it's kind of smells like the farm back home. It's this really odd smell of like urine or feces, like you would smell around animals.
There's critters in here.
What do you mean?
Or they've been using this as their outhouse. You guys don't smell that?
Yeah, you can all smell it. But for those of you that are fancy folk, you probably who haven't been on a farm or haven't been around an old barn or anything, now you can kind of smell that smell.
I guess that wouldn't be very old. It would have dried up by now.
Yeah, probably. But that stink. I mean, I don't know if you've had urine soak into something.
Sure.
That stuff sticks around for a long time.
Okay.
What sort of creatures are native around here, Monty?
Oh, I'm not a animal expert, but it's the desert, right? So snakes, scorpions, spiders, maybe a jackal or two.
Maybe that one.
Birds of prey, vultures, hawks, small rats and rodents, I'm sure.
Let's proceed carefully.
Okay. So how are you? So it's very
or lanterns.
I don't know. I don't think if you look at your truck description, I don't think that your truck had lanterns or anything, and I don't think you'd have to look and see what supplies
Or in the survival kit.
that he gave you in the survival kit. Let's see. Your survival kit contains a water bladder, a small escape compass, mirror, matches, a tube of ointment, chewing gum, boiled sweets, some amphetamines, water purification tablets. So you did have water purification tablets.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, there's nothing here that says anything about flashlights or lanterns.
Okay.
There are torches here, on the ground.
Yep. We'll pick up a torch, light it.
Okay, it lights. It surprisingly there's still fuel soaked into the wood and the fabric of the torch, and it lights up nicely.
Okay.
Is everybody going to grab a torch?
Yes.
How many of us are there? 7?
Yep.
We need at least 4 torches for 7 people.
Okay. And what else are you guys taking with you?
I'll carry my flak jacket,
Okay, you're going to carry your flak jacket. What else?
rifle, pistol.
Okay. I mentioned a while ago that everybody, you do have, there are 4 Lee Enfield rifles, if that's what you want to take. But Rusty also gave you 2 Browning automatic rifles. The Browning automatics do not do as much damage as the Lee Enfield. It does 1 less damage, 1 less dice of damage than the Lee Enfield. But the Browning automatic also has the feature area. So you can use it to hit multiple targets that are near each other if you needed to. The downside is the Browning automatic also has the inaccurate tag, which means you can't use aim with that. So if anybody wants to take the Browning automatic rifle instead of the Lee Enfield rifle, you can do that. I just need to know.
I think since I don't aim, not even that I can't, it's just that I don't. I think I will take one of the M119s.
Okay. The other thing that, if everybody wants their pistol, You can certainly keep your pistol. At one point, Matthew, you also were doing some dual wielding, which
Yes,
is a thing that you can do.
I returned the pistol to
Okay.
Valentino. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that in case you wanted to dual wield,
Yep.
You would need to talk to somebody about giving up their handgun.
Sure.
But
Okay,
it
so
sounds like everybody's got. Matthew's got the Browning automatic.
Yep.
Does everyone else have Lee Enfields and their pistols?
Yeah, sounds
Yep.
good.
so it's still medium range.
Yeah. So handguns are close.
Mhm.
Rifles are medium.
Okay. Because I am not finding the M119 numbers. So damage 5.
The pistol is
Quality-
only 4. The pistol is only 4 damage. The Browning automatic is 5 damage.
Right. And the Browning automatic has area as a quality.
Area effect.
Okay. Anything under salvo or size?
No, the size doesn't matter.
Okay. And it's not vicious.
No, it's
Okay.
area effect.
Thank you. I'm sure I'm going to find it a second after I.
Are you guys just going to carry your flak jackets, or are you going to go in wearing your flak jackets?
That's a good question.
I'm gonna carry mine for now.
Okay.
Yeah, if we can carry and avoid the fatigue, I think, yeah.
Okay.
So then if
yeah,
we
those things
do run
are-
into trouble, we need to whip them on. And that's going to take a whole.
Well, and the first time we run into trouble, we might not get a chance to whip them on, but
Oh,
But
okay.
there is trouble.
yeah. If there even is trouble.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll put them in our pockets.
I mean, that's what Dutch is doing. Like Dutch is not wearing his right now.
Okay. All
Well, we all pretty much take our cues from Dutch.
All right. I just want to make sure. So, with your torches lit, everybody gathers round. You start heading in. Monty is leading the way, and sure enough, this cave just starts to kind of slope down, not at a super steep angle, but it's kind of a sloping back and forth, like path that you have to take to get down, and you do descend about 100 feet over the course of, I would probably say this is a 20% grade. So it is steep, but it's not super steep. And it takes you a while to get down to a flat area. And as you get down to the bottom of this area, you can see that the walls of this area are covered in hieroglyphs. And there appear to be 3 directions that you can go. You can basically, you're at the cardinal directions. You can go south, which would be the way that you came in. East, west, and north are directions deeper into the area. There are also some clay jars down here at the bottom of this area, and the jars have like these knobs sticking out of them.
Knobs?
You want to examine that, Rom?
How big are the clay jars?
So these clay jars stand easily a little bit higher than waist high. So not all the way up to like breast height, but in between waist and breast height. These jars are clay jars. They appear to be sealed at the top, and at the top are like 2 knobs sticking out. Like you see a post, and then it kind of springs off into 2 other posts, like a Y almost.
Are
Weird.
they batteries?
Is the knobs also made of clay?
No, these are made out of metal. It looks to be either an iron or a copper.
I think
I'll,
they're batteries.
I'll motion at the archaeologists.
No, I don't know what that. I don't know what that is. That's interesting. Matthew, why don't you roll me a academia plus reason
Okay.
D1 on this?
2 successes.
Hey, very good. 2 successes. So you get a momentum off of this. Yeah, you seem to recall, you were studying some medicine, and you were studying medicine of all sorts of different cultures and backgrounds and stuff. And so I'm sure at one point, one of your Miskatonic University professors tried to talk to you about the Egyptian method of medicine and healing, and what they did with mummies and taking body parts and putting them into jars, etc. But at one point, you remember seeing something about the Egyptians probably having some kind of power supply, not different from the batteries that you were just thinking of.
So if it is a battery and I lick those terminals,
you're not going to
not going to do that.
lick the terminals. These are pretty wide across. These would be about 4 to 6 inches apart, these two posts.
Okay. Interesting.
But there's 3 of them there.
I think they were designed to power something, I think.
Power what?
It's a good question. Is there anything that they look like they might connect to?
Sure, give me an insight plus observation check.
Man, something I'm good at. Ooh, I even have bonus damage on this. Oh boy. Oh boy.
0 successes. I mean, if these 3 jars were batteries, there definitely would be something that you would need to connect them to, or that they would be connected to. But there's so much sand down here. You, Doc, don't see anything.
I don't see a thing. You guys should maybe look and see if you see anything that looks like maybe a cable or some sort of connector, maybe. Something that you guys could see. If you could see such a thing.
I'll look around.
I'll look
All right,
around.
everybody observation plus insight.
That was much more subtle in character. Actually, given Doc, it may not have been.
Lisco has 1 success. Carlos has 1 success. Did I say what the difficulty was on this?
You
Did
didn't.
not.
But I think it's
One
a good one.
success. All right, so Brian, do you have a focus on anything that you rolled, observation or insight?
That'd be
observation?
13 high.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, no, you had a 19. So remember that also when you use your focus, it also extends your complication range.
Well, then,
So yeah, as you guys start digging through the sand around the pit, each one of you, Carlos and Valentino and Blisco, you find these long metal rods on the ground. As you pull one out, you also discover a very large snake that's right there. We're going to enter a mini combat.
Well, they've all picked up rods, and I'm just sort of watching, so I think I can go first.
All right, what would you like to do?
There are snakes.
Yep.
I'm going to shoot a snake.
A big snake. All right, so shoot a snake. So use coordination and fighting.
How big are these snakes?
It's only one snake.
Okay.
This is a very large cobra type snake. It is probably 8 to 10 feet long.
But that's within Cobra.
Yeah. I mean, its head is raised up. It is hissing. Its hood is out. Whoever the last person was, Valentino was the last person to pull out this metal bar. It rises up and hisses at you, and it's like ready to strike. And Doc pulls out his, I'm guessing, handgun.
Yep.
And you're going to fire with coordination and fighting D1 on that.
Kapow!
Wow, 2 successes. Very nice.
3
successes. So you get a momentum, and you may roll damage.
2.
All right. You hit it. You nick it, and it's angry, and it flips back to the side, and it strikes very quickly. It's moving super quick. It strikes out at oh
no, Sanjay!
Valentino. No, at Valentino.
Yeah.
So this would be, it says hand-to-hand combat, so you can roll. So for that, you want to do agility and fighting.
Agility. All righty. There goes nothing. 1 success.
All right. What was your low? Yep. Okay. So you beat it. So you're able to just very quickly dodge out of the way as the snake lunges past you, and it quickly coils back around, and you can see the full length of this snake as it rears up and gets ready to strike. Now, Brian, because you succeeded in this, you have the ability to move out of the way or I guess, fight back if you want to punch it, I guess.
Kick it.
Hit
Yeah,
it with
kick
my torch.
Yeah. Sure. In this case, you would roll damage, and we did. Oh man, I forgot what torch damage was. I think that's 3 or 4 dice. So if you would, three dice worth of damage.
All right. 2.
All right. It definitely. You definitely try to singe it. You can tell it doesn't like fire. In fact, the bright light seems to distract it, and it wants to back away from the fire.
Good.
I'll go next.
All right, Blisk or Dutch.
I will pull my gun out and shoot at it.
All right. Coordination and fighting. You have a handgun focus.
Yeah. 2
2 successes. Very good. Roll damage.
So that'll be 5 with my.
You pull out your gun and you blast it, and its head goes off, and it's dead.
Ew.
Congratulations, you have killed a snake, and no one was bitten.
All right.
Yay.
You have these 3 rods.
All right, Doc. What do we do now?
See if we can connect them. The rods aren't connected to anything?
Are the
No,
rods
the rods are
like
just these
featureless?
they're freestanding rods. I think you'd probably need to look around to see if they would be connected to anything.
We could probably observe these things.
Sure, Doc. Why don't you give me another observation plus insight?
2 successes.
Very good. You notice that as you're looking at this snake lying on the ground, it occurs to you that as you turn back to the rest of your party, your torchlight shines on the hieroglyphics on the wall, and on the wall you see what look to be Egyptians holding these clay pots, and these clay pots have what look like a snake inside of them, and the snakes have these like lines coming off of them, almost like they are rays, and you can see that the bars, or the tops of these jars, are connected in a series, and then they are connected into what looks like a receptacle in the wall.
So I say all of that.
I would just say, look at the picture on the wall.
Hey, wall picture. So, do we see a receptacle?
I mean, yeah, you can see what looks like a metal knob coming off the wall at about the same height as the knobs on the jars.
So if we put the bar between the wall knob and the jar knob, does it seem to have a connection point where it would connect?
Yeah, so it's really interesting because at the end of each end of the rod is like not quite a hook, but a loop. And the loop, when you put them onto these knobs, rest exactly on those knobs. They're perfectly sized to fit on those knobs.
So let's do like the pictures do.
I'll look at the
Everybody go along
scientist.
with that?
Yeah.
I've seen weirder things.
All right.
One time, I found a police system that when we traced it back, this was in Rome, we traced it back to a fire pit, and we found out that they were using a steam engine, to create doors that automatically open and close.
Ooh.
I'd have
Yeah.
liked to see that.
Yeah. So do it.
Talk about
You connect all of these rods in a series to the batteries and to the knob in the wall, and then all of a sudden you just kind of hear this and there's a flickering, and all along the top of this tunnel, spaced about every 20 feet, there is a metal snake embedded in the wall, and it's glowing bright enough to where this passage is now lit. And you can see light going off in all the directions down the tunnels. It's almost like you have turned on a light switch.
Wow.
Let's keep going, Dutch says as he douses his torch.
All right, so I want to try something different here. I don't know if this is going to work, but I would like to see if we can apply Lord Kensington's rules for skills challenges for an Octoon Cthulhu edition. Your goal is to get 10 successes, okay, in order to find where the room or the building, I guess technically it would be a building. You are trying to find the building where the mask is. Okay. The Eidolon.
It's Eidolon Emperor.
Do we know the difficulty?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, everything is a D2. And fortunately, you guys have been doing really good and you have 8 momentum. So every skills test is a D2. What I want you to do is I want you to describe what you're doing to move to the next stage of the Forbidden City. The rule is you can't use the same skill combination as the player before. So with Rodrigo's, it was, hey, I want to do a history check. Then that means that Matthew couldn't do a history check. Well, this one, you can't use the same combo of attributes and skills.
Okay.
Can you use a different? Can you use
so if
one of either?
You could use the same one of either, but it can't be the same two
can't be
of
both.
the other one. So if for example, let's just use an example here that Matthew has figured out that these pictures tell him things, and he wants to use his academia plus reason to see if these hieroglyphs give him any other information. And then it's Brian's turn, and he's also like, oh yeah, I remember doing some research one time. You can't use academia and reason again. You could use academia and I don't know. You'd have to figure out a good reason to use academia and something else. Although
probably,
you might use reason and engineering. Who knows?
Yeah, the things that will most likely be reused are the attributes because I think they're broader.
Yeah.
What about doing the same?
Throw a book.
Yes.
What about doing the same skill twice for the same player? Like,
so when we loop back around and you want to do the same thing again, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
And I think that's what you allowed too, right, Rodrigo? Is you allowed that? No, okay.
No, players were not allowed to do the one that just happened, and they're not allowed to do the same one on. All
right. Well, let's see. Let's keep it to that. Let's see if this will work for that.
Okay. Let's see if we ruin everything.
So you need a total of 10 successes.
Okay.
To do this, so it's a D2 is what the skill check is. So if you get 2 successes, that will count as the one success you need to pass your skill test. Any success over that, so let's say you get 3 successes, can be counted towards the main group of 10 that you need. Does that make sense? So there's a baseline that you need, but if you have other successes above that, we can count that up to the 10 that you need to hit.
Okay.
You don't think that's a good idea?
I don't know because I'm not that familiar with the system. My assumption was that it would just go to momentum.
I mean, it does go to momentum, but it also goes to you guys completing the skills challenge.
I mean, that'll probably make it go faster.
It could. That's what I'm curious about.
But also we're talking about rolling 3+ successes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be pretty rare, I think.
Exactly. So, let's see, Rodrigo, you said let's venture further into this. So, what does Dutch do?
Dutch is going to venture in, and so this was like a room, right?
Well, it would be technically a city street.
Dutch will basically continue walking, and then the path through this street has probably collapsed in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll have to either like jump across or get a rope across or something.
Okay, yeah. So there's a area that has collapsed, and there's a big pit that you guys can't see the bottom of, and you need to get across that in some way. And so, what are you going to do for that?
Let's say agility and athletics.
Yep.
Which I'm not very good at. but it was the first thing.
And you can use momentum. Again, you guys have 8 momentum, which is
I'll go ahead and use them.
pretty high, considering of a high number that you guys have had. But you need 2 successes.
Yeah,
here.
since I need 2 successes, I'm gonna go ahead and spend a momentum. And here we go. 2 successes.
Nice. 2 successes. Hey, guess what? You are able to use some of your horse riding techniques that you've learned in the past. You've probably had to, at one point, even though you're probably more of a highfalutin horse riding, at one point you probably needed to learn to lasso a horse. And so you're able to find a post on the far side of the pit that you're able to swing a rope around, fling it across, and get a really good secure connection, and tie it off on this side, and everybody is able to crawl across, hand and leg, like you're hanging from below the rope, and everybody scurries across. I don't think anybody's going to try to tight rope this.
Right.
All right.
When Dutch hits the thing and pulls the rope and it catches, he'll look at Bug Eater and be like,
Yeah.
All right. You have 1 success.
Yay.
Oh, hey, Blisco, you said yay. So you get to decide what happens next in your adventure as you're trying to find
When
this
did I say
master.
yay?
Oh, we heard it.
Okay.
It happened. You were there.
So we're gonna come across some sort of pulley system.
Oh, okay. What was
Something
this?
like some sort of engineered monstrosity to open up this.
Yeah, because there's like a collapsed like door or something.
Oh, like a gate or something that has been closed off
And
to this part of the city. Okay.
The way things have collapsed have made it so it's not just a matter of figuring out how this works, because that's kind of simple. It's more being able to actually get at it and maintain it together. So I would like to combine coordination and engineering.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
All right.
Let's try it. D2.
And this would also be with mechanical engineering, presumably.
Okay, sure.
Because none of the other engineerings here would make sense. Which
nice.
means
2 successes.
there's 2 successes.
Yeah, so you kind of remember what Monty had just said about, crazy contraptions and steam motors and everything. And you do notice that there appears to be some kind of a steam connection to this pulley system. And with your torches, you are able to take some water from your canteen and pour it into this container. Everybody puts their torches underneath. It starts bubbling and rupturing and doing all sorts of stuff. And then sure enough, you start to see some weights and some pulleys start to move on some old rusted chains. But this steam is enough that it's really pushing and powering through on this thing. And sure enough, these gates just kind of start to swing open really slowly. And there's just like this blast of like fetid air that blows out across all of you, because this is an area that appears to have been closed off for a very, very long time. So congratulations, you now have 2 successes.
Oh, that's gross.
Oh, that's gross, says Doc. Doc is going to figure out what he needs to do next to move the party forward. Remember, you're looking for a building or a room or something that would house this item, this mask.
So I think to myself, where would you keep an artifact like that, an important artifact? It's obviously going to be in you figure it's going to be in something that looks like it might be a central area, maybe like a temple or some place where, whoever is in charge of this place might do it. So I'm thinking that if I think about my insights into academia in the past, and the way that cities are set up where I grew up, I'm gonna use my academics insightfully and incite my academics.
Okay.
And see if maybe I can kind of figure out, if I'm just seeing what I'm seeing, if there's anything that I could go, okay, clearly we need to go this way because there's a ziggurat over there.
Yeah, you don't, this area isn't like opened up to where you can just see the whole city laid out before you.
Right.
But you would probably know from the direction of let's roll it and see what happens.
Yep.
What are you rolling?
Direction of the insight plus academia.
Okay. So you'd be able to figure out
right,
if you were heading east or north or whatever, and that
Right.
might tell you something definitely of where they would put a temple.
Yeah, or maybe I'm looking at, hey, we saw what happened when we plugged in those batteries, and then the things went this direction, and then it seemed like the water's going that direction. Maybe there's some sort of central area or something centrally located in an area. Anyway, I'm going to roll it.
Yeah, just roll it and let's see.
Okay. But what if it's really good? What if it's two successes?
It is 2 successes. So yeah, you figure out, you really kind of reason that, listen, any kind of an artifact or anything that is probably of any kind of worth that would be brought into this city would probably be kept someplace that they would keep treasures or artifacts or some kind of a repository, not quite like a bank, but those kinds of things typically are at the heart of the city. So you do realize that, yes, if we keep moving in this direction, it appears to align with the 2 obelisks, which would be like the main gates of the city, like welcome to Zerzura, enjoy your stay while you can, kind of thing. And so you would kind of be still moving in that direction towards the center of the city. So yes, some kind of a bank, treasury room, maybe even a temple. That would be that's what you're looking for.
Or like a museum. Who knows? Could be.
Yeah. All right, Valentino, what you going to do?
How about we find ourselves in some chamber that has a bunch of various reliefs all over that pressing the right one will either get us out or trigger some traps. And I have to use, let's say, reason and observation to determine the proper one. And
okay, let's try it. Wow, 2 successes. Very good. Yeah. So you guys are, you've walked through this area that has been closed off for a long time.
Maybe I got to focus on instincts if that could add an additional success.
Oh, it's 5. Oh, it's really high. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we will add an additional success onto this one.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys walk through this doorway chamber, and you're walking down an area that seems to be a little tighter. It's not an area that is super welcoming. It's an area that's basically like keep away, keep out kind of stuff. And as you cross one threshold, another gate slams down behind you, and the room starts to fill up with sand. And as you look around, you can see that there are really no other exits, but you do see some symbols on the wall. And Valentino, you kind of piece together, if you put these in the right order, it kind of tells the story of a man long ago who was trapped from a waterfall, and in order to escape, he transformed into this bird, and he was able to fly away. And so you push these, carvings on the wall of man and water and bird, and you figure out the right order so well that, yes, about 5 feet up off the ground, a passageway opens up, and everybody is able to scramble their way to safety as the chamber continues to fill up with sand.
I have an idea.
All right. Hit us, Blisco.
All right, so the first snake we found wasn't the only one in here, right? In fact, they tend to bury themselves and whatnot. So we find what is a nest of cobras.
Okay.
But they're not aggressive. So we don't want to disturb them. We just want to get past without dealing with them and let them do their thing while we do ours, right?
Okay.
So I want to use reason and survival to make sure we're not disturbing anything. Just get us past without
okay. Yeah.
causing problems for the wild
Rob's
critters.
trying to diplomatize the snakes.
Rob is successfully reasoning into diplomatizing the snakes.
All right.
It's cool. I am going to use a momentum on this one.
Okay.
Just because.
Sure.
It's
Why
not
not?
Great. Oh, goody.
No.
Wow. That momentum
Not only
was
did you not have
amazing.
any successes, you had a complication.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer description.
Yes. So these
You had to
you're trying to move past. You're trying to move past them, and the cobras keeps rearing up, as everybody passes, and one of them strikes out at Elizelle, and she jumps and she makes a kind of a loud screamy sound. But the snakes, very quickly are like, hey, these things are leaving us alone. We should be okay. And everyone turns a passage, and you hear a sound. And you turn around, and coming down the passage toward you is, the best way to describe it is a dog crossed with a lizard, like a Rottweiler crossed with a iguana. We're going to enter a mini combat here.
A Guanweiler.
Yeah. The first time, everybody roll me a will plus resilience.
Oh my gosh.
This thing looks pretty scary and creepy.
I will get a 3d20 with my Dauntless
Okay.
ability.
Oh, sure. Now the dice cooperate.
Okay, so Blisco has 2 successes. Doc has 2 successes. Brian has 1 success. Carlos has 2 successes. Brian, this creature freaks you out. You have not seen anything like this. Have you ever been? Was your Valentino ever attacked by a dog as a kid?
Sure.
Okay, so you're, first of all, just that sound and the look of this creature is enough to give you flashbacks to being bitten by a dog. Please take 1 mental stress.
Okay.
I believe it would be called a Guanaweiler.
No, this thing is called an Amit.
Like
Hey,
Dr.
Ahmet.
Oz?
AMMIT. It lunges at Valentino.
Ah.
Let's do a hand-to-hand.
Oh man.
So
So that's
good stuff.
Catch it and suplex it.
coordination and fighting.
Coordination and fighting.
You can't suplex.
I thought it
you'd
was
have to put in
agility
a
and
Cobra
fighting
clutch.
for.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Is
sorry.
it-
Agility and fighting. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's one
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, there you
It was
go.
like, wait, I'm not supposed to be good at hand to hand. What are you talking about?
I will spend a momentum
Okay.
for 3 dice. Hey, 2 successes.
All right. You have 2 successes. Yes. So you can either move out of the way or you can attack back.
Moving out of the way.
Okay. So you are able to successfully move out of the way as this thing chomps down at you, and its jaws. Everyone can tell that the jaws of this thing are super strong. Like, this is bone crushing jaws.
I have this new awesome gun that I haven't used.
All right.
So
What
I'm
is this?
gonna-
The automatic, the bearing or the Browning automatic. Okay.
The M119 Browning automatic, new from Browning.
I'm glad I moved out of the way.
Yeah.
And I'm going to whip it off of wherever you carry such an item. Like
On your back,
shoulder,
probably.
On your back, yeah.
It's a rifle. So
And I'm going to open fire on the Amit going chunga, 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 chunga.
all right. You can roll coordination and fighting.
Coordination.
Difficulty of 2.
I have to remember
What's the-
coordination.
I'm not familiar with these guns. What's like the actual like automatic speed on them? Is it like, or is it like?
I would probably assume it's probably a little slower than that. Probably like a submachine, like a Thompson submachine gun, probably that kind of a rapid fire. So like boom, 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 boom. Oh, 4 successes. Very good.
Wow.
So make sure that you're rolling 5 dice plus your brawn bonus if you have it.
I do not have
Well,
a
insight
brawn.
bonus.
I'm sorry, insight bonus. Insight bonus on that. So you're rolling 6 dice on this.
Okay.
Maybe spend some momentum for extra damage or something.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
can we
look
do that?
at, there is a thing where you can do let's look at momentum spins really quick.
Chances, reduce time, and power result. Add 1 challenge die to the pool per momentum. Does that count for damage?
No. Let's see. Empower result. Yes. Add 1 challenge die to the pool per momentum. So yes, you could add more dice to this depending on the number of momentum you want to do on that.
How many momentum do we have?
You have right now, you spent 1, so you have 7. You can spend up to 3 to roll 3 more dice.
Would you guys object if I spent 3?
No, because we have a
You may-
maximum to momentum. This is
Yeah.
why we're looking for this, because
Okay.
you actually earned too much momentum.
Yeah.
So we should burn it off here.
Burning. Okay.
Yeah, so you're up to
So-
9. You're going to spend 3, so that puts you down to 6 momentum.
6 momentum and then 9 damage dice.
So you have 5 plus 6 plus 3. Yes, so 9. So you can roll 9 damage dice.
Yep. So I
so
got
that's 7 plus 2 effects. So that is there is no vicious or anything like that. So the effects don't do anything. I mean, it would be an area effect.
Right.
So you are doing 7 damage. Yeah. So you are able to kill this thing outright, Matthew.
chunka, 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 chunka,
Just
chunka.
chunka. As it's leaping at you, it is being shot by a hail of bullets, and it lands
Chunked.
right at your feet, dead. It's a pretty creepy creature. Good
Doc
job.
looks at the gun and he's like, "Oh, I like this."
Yeah, the snakes don't like this, and they slither off. All right. So where were we? We were kind of in the middle of this round. So Blisco went, Doc went, or no? No.
I think only Blisco had gone.
Oh,
I don't
only
think
Blisco
so.
went. Okay. All right. So who would like to go next? You have found a terrible creature and some snakes. You're still trying to make your way to into a trophy or vault room of some kind.
Sort of room. Trying to think of a way that I might be able to use medicine on a dead Amit to learn something or see something or figure something out. I'm going to use agility plus medicine.
No, I think
No.
you could probably. Well, this is probably making this a little bit too easy, but I would probably say like a reason plus medicine if you were wanting to spend any time doing an autopsy on this thing. But that's going to eat up time.
Right. And it feels like that might be counterproductive.
I mean, there's only one way to find out is to decide whether you want to use that combo and do an autopsy on this creature.
I don't think I do necessarily.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're looking for, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that would just send us off onto a.
I mean, it's a pretty creepy looking creature.
It is, and I'm kind of fascinated of the idea of it, but I'm also like, we're kind of on a time frame here. It just showed up out of nowhere.
I mean, it came around a corner. You guys went around a corner of this tunnel / street, and it was there.
Okay. Urban stealth. So I'm going to roll coordination plus stealth, and we're all going to be sneakier, and I'm going to go shh.
And what are you trying to do?
Trying to not attract any more snakes or snake dogs or dog snakes.
Well, it wasn't a snake dog, so that's not what's
a lizard dog. You know what I mean?
It's a lizard dog, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're using what?
I wanted to use stealth plus coordination.
Okay.
So we could be sneaky.
Okay.
I will set an example of how to be sneaky.
Quieter. I mean, Lizelle screamed, and that probably attracted the dog's attention in the first place.
Gonna be like, okay, everybody be calm.
Let's roll it.
Be cool.
Oh, one success. You are not calm. You are not cool.
Everybody be calm.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. And as you guys continue to walk down this path, the lights dim quite a bit.
Let's say that as the lights dim, the voices that everybody's sort of been hearing get louder.
Okay.
And start telling them to do bad things.
Kill your friends.
Voices in my head tell me to burn things.
She wants to hurt you.
So, so Dutch is going to tough it out and basically get everybody through the spooky hallway.
Okay.
By resisting the evil influence.
Okay.
Using will and resilience.
Okay. Will and resilience or will and persuasion? Because if you're trying to get everyone else to come through, would that be more persuasion?
I would argue that it's more important that Dutch doesn't go nuts himself.
Okay, I'll allow it.
I will use a D20 from my Dauntless ability.
Okay.
One success.
Everybody give me a will plus resilience check.
Oh boy.
We're all gonna go insane.
Oh,
Go insane?
So Doc has 3 successes, so you get 1 momentum back on that one. So Blisco only had 1 success. Blisco, the sounds scare you even more, so please take 2 mental stress. Brian, these sounds about staying away disturb you. Please take 3 mental stress.
Okay. Oh boy.
Carlos, you need to roll me a will plus resilience.
Okay. I'll get a 3d20 on.
Okay. 2
2
successes.
successes.
Yeah, you realize that trying to tell people the voices in their head aren't real is probably not a great idea.
Mm.
All right. Real quick check. Stress totals. How much stress do you have left, Rodrigo?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11.
Okay, so you're good. Doc?
I have 9.
Okay. Blisco?
how many remaining?
Yep.
4.
Ooh, ouch. Valentino?
7.
Okay, Blisco is not taking being underground very well. Who has not gone this round?
I have not gone.
What do you normally do for a medicine check? First aid is insight in medicine. You're actually not bad at some kind of first aid. Valentino, might be worth trying to see if you can help your friend in some way.
Okay. I will try to help out Blisco.
Because I've got your first aid at as 13. Is that right? Insight plus medicine?
Insight plus medicine would be 12.
All right, that's still high.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if that's what, yeah, I can try to get Blisco to focus, help him.
Maybe you want to give him a swig of your
Give
of
him
your
a slug
courage.
out of your bottle.
Yeah, out of your whiskey bottle if you drink.
A little bit of liquid courage. Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2 successes.
2 successes. Very good. So if you would, with first aid, I don't have first aid here in front of me. Matthew, what did we decide to roll when you were doing first aid on somebody? You remember? I think this is just roll 4 damage dice, Brian.
Yep.
If you would.
Right. 4.
So Rob, you may recover 4 stress.
Oh, good.
4
We're just
effects.
I'm gonna hand wave that as you had 4 points and 4 effects. So we will say you can heal 4 points of stress.
Yep.
Because I don't want to kill you before you guys get to your destination.
Yeah,
All
he
right,
doesn't want to
and-
kill us yet.
Yet. Yeah, because yet is the big point. So you did succeed on that, Brian. So 1 more success. You need 4 more successes to get where you're going. Matthew, why don't you kick us off? Hopefully maybe this is the final round. Maybe everybody can power through this and get to the master room.
If this is the final round.
I'm not
then
saying it is the
clearly-
final round. I'm just saying that.
But if it were the final round,
Mhm.
Yeah.
clearly we would be able to see several buildings, one of which is almost certainly the repository of which we speak. And so based on the glyphs that we've seen so far, I think that I could like maybe try and figure out which glyphs might mean here is where we store all of our killer artifacts.
Oh,
So-
that is a tough one, Matthew. That is what are you going to use to
Cryptography
roll
falls
this?
under academia. So my
Yeah,
thinking
but that's
would
not.
be
This isn't crypt. This would be cryptography.
but it would be linguistics, I think, or you'd be trying to reverse engineer something like language related. My thinking
use
was
academia.
reason plus academia.
You can try it.
Okay. I mean, I could also try to charm them.
No.
I mean, I am a brain face guy, right? I'm the guy with faces for brains.
Mhm. Guy with face for brains.
Yep, 3 successes.
I am so sad about this
Why is that?
because I literally have a talent that lets me do that. I made my character a polyglot, and I was getting ready to literally do that.
Oh, I'm
All
so
right.
sorry, man.
It happens.
So,
Yeah.
but
stole
so
your
the extra,
thunder, though.
so you got 3
That's not
successes.
cool.
So the extra success pushes you up to 8 successes.
I mean,
yes,
I did
you-
some doctoring, so he had to take your thing.
That's
Yeah.
True. That's true.
Now
I'm
you
gonna
have to drive
us, I'm going to
something.
drive us to the end. Yeah.
You are not able to translate anything specifically, Matthew, as to exactly what it says, but you do notice like this one symbol appears more and more frequently on the streets. There's not like arrows pointing in this direction, but you kind of get this feeling that this symbol represents some kind of a again, a bank or a treasury or a repository or a secure section. Let's just say it's a secure repository of something. So it's almost like a sign. Yes, it's a secure repository of something. It's almost like this sign is pointing you to the local bank.
Hey, Dutch, what do you make of this?
No, I think you're right. Good job.
Yeah, this is you guys are doing really good. Keep it up. Yeah, Sanjay's like, yeah, you guys are doing better than I thought. I thought we'd all be dead by now.
Wait, is Monty just hanging back and being like, doo-dee-doo-dee-doo?
I mean,
Waiting
he's
for us to die?
he's taking everything in. If he sees something of interest, you notice that he slips it into his pocket or he slips something into his satchel bag. You also see Sanjay, grabbing what look like little artifacts, little trinkets, treasures along the way, and he's pocketing them as well.
Yeah, I assume he was like just in the background, like fighting mummies, swimming across chasms, running from boulders. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Tomb raiding now.
Weighing different things.
Mhm.
Right. Trying to get someone to throw him the idols so he can throw them the whip.
It's the other way around. So Valentina or Dutch, you're going next.
Yeah, I'll go next.
Okay.
I'll totally do it too.
All right.
So it's like becoming clearer and clearer that if we follow those sigils, we're in the right way. But as we approach, there's just like a really massive dog lizard.
Okay.
That's just like sitting there sleeping.
All right.
And so Dutch is going to go around the corner, and when he comes back around the corner, he's going to be riding a strange ancient contraption that's like a chariot, but it has one of those like batteries on the back. And he's going to crash the chariot into the lizard.
Love it.
So that's going to have to be agility
notes.
plus engineering, obviously.
Oh, I wanted to do vehicles. Where my engineering is exactly the same. It doesn't matter. I'll take a momentum.
All right.
2 successes.
All right. So yeah, you see this big omet just kind of lying there in the middle of the street as the lights continue to dim around you, and you duck back out, and you notice what look like a series of carts kind of lined up in a row beside the building, and each one of them has a smaller version of the clay battery that you saw.
Mm-hmm.
And so it looks like this is some kind of a powered scooter, not quite a chariot,
Sure.
but some kind of electric powered scooter that you would assume everyone here just used for, public transit.
Oh.
So you jump on this thing, hook it up, and you rev right at the omet. Please roll me, since this is smaller than a car, why don't you roll me 4 damage dice, Rodrigo?
Sure.
1, 2,
4.
plus effects. This armor
8.
on this one. 3, 4. You hit it pretty good, but because you said this was a really massive dog.
Well, I
you
also
did get
thought
the
I was going to
success.
bring a massiver carriage, but
Yeah. As you jump off, please shoot your as you're jumping, and there's a giant explosion, and the dog is like, whoa, and you're like, ah! You're pulling out your gun and see if you can shoot it with your with your gun. You're pretty close to taking this thing out.
One success.
All right. One success, and you have. Go ahead and roll. You have handguns on this, but what is your handguns? What is your fighting's only 2? Yeah.
Only
go
2.
ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll four dice on this.
I do have +1 from insight.
Oh, so yes, please roll 5 dice on this. 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4. Yep. You are able to, as this big explosion goes off and rocks the chamber, you're able to put a bullet in this lizard dog's head or torso. I keep saying head because it's just a little bit more violent. But the dog goes down. You appear to be at the steps of this treasury repository place. Oh my goodness, the monsters here are just frightening and scary. I've never seen such things.
So, what's Valentino good at? So as I can do that one.
Spotting. I think.
That's what we're doing, right? Like,
Yep.
That's what we've
I might as
decided
well
to do.
fulfill the gimmick.
Yep. That's what we're doing. I know he's good at spotting things. What else is he good at?
Insight, reason, will, academia, a
little bit of persuasion.
observation, persuasion. Yeah.
All right.
Something academia.
Mhm.
Misleading straight girls.
Yeah, observation would be really good too.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm gonna go with observation, seeing as for some reason I ended up not grabbing academia.
That's all right. I think we
Yeah,
got
that's
enough
all
of that around here.
Yeah.
Part of my backstory is going to college for a little bit.
so here's the thing. You give me a reason why you would use what are you going to roll?
I was going to
Reason
do
and what?
reason and observation. I'm
Okay.
just looking for something that actually lets us open this up.
Okay. What would your schooling background have done on this?
Well,
he doesn't want to use academia. He wants to
I'm
use
using
like observation.
Observation.
Yeah, but he just said he went to school. So there's something that has observation and what'd you say, reason in it that you can maybe make a connection between your time at school in the big city of Omaha, Lincoln, and this big underground city.
Just kind of getting a general lay of how a city might function, what this type of building is actually set up to be, and which way we would need to be like heading in to actually get in here.
All right. Let's try it and see. 2 successes. Very good.
Wow.
Barely.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good, Rob. 2 11s, and you had to roll 11 or less. So congratulations. So yes, you realize that, oh my gosh, you remember when you were at school that there was a central building where they kept all these wonderful things. They called it a museum. You like to go in there sometimes, even though it was just this old junk. But you thought it was a pretty cool thing. And this building is kind of like that museum. And you all go in, and sure enough, it looks like it's some kind of a museum.
So Monty was right. It does belong in a museum.
All right. What's next? I mean, we're done. We're out of the skills challenge. Congratulations, you won. But now you need to kind of look around and find the place where this one thing might be.
Well, every time I go to the museum, first I look at that thing that shows you the x-rays of your feet.
Yeah, they actually have this bone exhibit there that's really interesting. It in very detail. I mean, again, you're already in the 1930s.
Right.
So in the year 930, here's very intricate, detailed sculptures of foot bones. And you know, because of your medical background, Doc, that these foot bones are, in fact, all of the foot bones. In fact, these may be foot bones. In fact, the more you look at this, you start to realize that this isn't just a display of foot bones. You start to realize that, wait a minute, this is like telling the story of the loss of feet. And oh, look, maybe also possibly it's also telling about the loss of legs. Interesting. All right. Where else are you going to look in this museum?
Wait. Hold on. That sounds like it may be a warning. I think perhaps one
this
of our
seems like
linguists.
No. This, if a linguist wants to try to roll a language thing on this, they can try to figure it out.
Oh, thanks. I'll come over and check it out.
Hey,
all right,
just
polyglot.
Does this say that I'm chopping off my feet here? Or?
What am I doing? Reason and linguistics or
Yep.
reason and academics?
Yep. One success. All right. You really can't understand this because it doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah.
It really feels like this is a telling of these limbs going away, these legs going away. Like this is something
a cultural reference.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about knee-level blades.
I mean, we might, but
I mean, none of you did any trap checks during this entire skills challenge, so.
Do we know how to do trap checks?
None of us are a rogue.
It would be an insight versus observation.
This is really
your
the worst
traps or
party. We don't have any
survival.
wizards and we don't have any rogues.
I am
That's
just really
true.
surprised nobody wanted to roll a magician in this game.
I didn't know it was an option.
Yeah, magic user. Yeah.
You were like, oh,
All right, so
man,
where
we're
else are you
getting
guys gonna
30s.
where else are you guys gonna look?
At knee level for blades.
I
made the
mean,
paranoid
so
guy
is this like a mezzanine or something?
Yeah, this is would be you're in an entrance area to what would be like, I don't know, imagine going into the Natural History Museum, the New York Natural History Museum.
Mhm.
It's kind of like that, where you go in and they have a big display of stuff. A lot of it looks like it's been torn down or destroyed, but you do see this like leg exhibit thing as you first come in.
Try to look for like the most centralized thing where probably the item of most prominence might be displayed.
Yeah, and if does this look like it was a public place? Because if it is, I guess I look for like a map or like a you are here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this looks like it was once a place that was to be a public place, but it is at some point was not remodeled, maybe re-engineered, remodeled.
Repurposed.
Yeah, repurposed into being something of a security location.
Okay.
But there's still a lot of the like museum, bank, treasury kind of thing that still kind of has its presence here. So you move to maybe the like a central part of this building, and you do see like a bigger display, and you see this mosaic tile on the floor that is just a giant like cobra curled around itself into like this continuing spiral. And it's a big mosaic. It covers it's probably 14 feet across. And as you look at it, it is mesmerizing. If everyone would give me a will plus resilience check.
Did you guys see this cobra?
Ha!
Nice.
Hey, 2 successes.
Nice.
One success.
Okay.
1 success.
All right. So Carlos, no damage. Doc, one mental stress, but you saw.
Was the difficulty 2, I'm assuming?
Yeah,
So I got us a momentum?
you did, and I did. Oh, I haven't hit return. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's really weird. It's very mesmerizing how just, have you guys seen those spirals that hypnotize you kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that, but it doesn't spin. I mean, it's not moving, but let's see. Anybody can give me a reason plus engineering check.
Okay.
For no other reason than that's a weird combination, and I want to see what happens.
Pass.
Hit it. Crap!
All right, so Matthew fails.
I do fails. And I'm actually good at that. I think I'm still hypnotized by the cobra.
Probably.
2 successes.
2 successes, Brian. Very good.
Actually, 3 successes.
3 successes. Nice.
All of us are giving this one.
If you want, anybody can do it. So Brian succeeds. He noticed that, there's a lot of dust on the floor around here, even though you can see this cobra thing very, very easily. You notice that there's a niche, an alcove over on the far side of the room that appears that there's a lot less dirt and dust going into this area.
Maybe we should check this way out.
Okay, so you walk over, and as you're starting to walk over, do you cross the snake tile pattern in the middle of the floor?
I think I just avoid stepping on it out of a weird superstition.
Okay. Anybody else want to just walk across the thing?
I feel like the way you ask that makes me want to say no.
I don't know. I mean, if you're on one side of a design pattern, if you're in the middle of a lobby, right, and you notice that there's something interesting on the other side of the lobby, do you walk all the way around the side of the lobby to get where you're going, or do you go straight across?
I mean, I'm following Valentino because I'm still mesmerized about the snake.
All right, so you both walk around the edge of it. You get to this alcove, Valentino, and sure enough, it does look like there's something that causes this area to swing open. But you don't see a door or a latch or anything here.
All right, let me check it out.
Yeah, so you can find some kind of release here.
Yeah, so Blisco, do your engineering magic. Nice. Let's see. 4. Okay. Would you? So there is an assist. I'm going to help you out here, Rob. There is an assist feature of this, right? Roll 1d20. Okay. So let's see. What did you roll?
Me?
Yeah. You rolled engineering plus what?
And reason plus engineering, right?
Reason plus engineering. Okay.
Yeah.
So Sanjay is coming over to look at this with you. Oh man, he does really good. He's looking at this with you. He's like, Oh, hey, look, there's something here on the floor, way back in the corner. He notices a little patch, giving you guys 2 successes with an assist. You push on that, and sure enough, this whole alcove just swings open into an inner chamber. Everyone walks in. Sanjay goes first because, man, he's the one that discovered this. And this room is very clean. There's no sand. There's no dust. And as you all enter this room, you can see all over the wall are masks from all over the world from that time period. So, 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago, whatever it is. So, masks, it's not like you're going to find a modern mask on here, right?
Sure.
But masks from 1,000 years ago from all over the world, all different cultures are all represented in this chamber. And this is more like a domed chamber. So they go all over, up and down, all the way around. Some of them are scary masks. Some of them are very intricately detailed masks. Some of them are beautiful, beautiful masks with feathers and colors that just no one could probably make during this time period, just because of the quality of detail that you went into this. You see some simple masks, simple wooden masks, simple cloth masks, simple leather masks. At the very center of the room is a pedestal. And on that pedestal is a mask. And it is a simple mask, a mask of a face, and with 2 eye holes, and you can see that there's lips there. The mask is sitting on that pedestal, or it's upright on that pedestal. Hey, I would tell you guys to be careful here.
Yeah.
First, I'm going to dump all the sand out of my pockets.
Oh, it turns out that you've been carrying a pocket full of water all this time.
That's just mean.
I agree, Matthew.
What is this? There's like a central mask.
Yeah, so in the middle of this room, there is a pillar, and on that is an upright mask.
Okay.
And that's, I mean, it's up to you guys to ask questions or whatever and tell me what, so I can.
Yeah, what's that mask made of?
So this mask is, it looks like it's made out of some kind of a marble or stone of some kind, but it also looks like it's not attached to the pedestal.
So just sitting on the pedestal?
Yeah, it's like upright on the pedestal. Like if you were to take a mask, like just a simple plastic mask. Think about the Fonz mask that you wore when you were a kid and went out on Halloween, kind that has the rubber band on the back. That's just sitting right there upright on that pedestal.
Kids, for those of you who are not around in the 70s, what Stephen is describing was a real thing.
I actually was the Fonz and wore that mask one year. So
with the little slit in the mouth, that would cut.
Yep.
your-
Yep. The one that would cut your lips. Yep.
Yeah. And
But that's kind of what it is. It's that simple of a mask. I mean, it doesn't have all of the relief on it, but
does it have any sort of carving or inlay or identification? Does it have like two little E's in Egyptian font across the top, or
no? The one thing that you do notice is that the mask. So, like when you entered the room, the mask was not facing towards you.
Mm-hmm.
It's more at an angle.
Okay, but now it's staring at us.
It depends on where you're standing in the room, but yeah, if you're standing right in front of you,
moved.
it's staring at you.
I will
So
once again.
So let me explain. So normally, if you were to like walk into a museum and they're featuring some like Tutankhamun's headdress, the minute that you walk into the chamber, that headdress would be pointed right at you as you're entering. This is not that.
Was not.
Yeah, this is at like a different angle.
I will once again look at the archaeologists and see what they think.
Well, it wasn't pointing at us when we came into the room.
I'll sort of
I mean, this thing has like eye holes and
slowly,
everything.
yeah, slowly, gently, make my way towards it.
Yeah, sure. Hi, how are you? No, it doesn't say that, but
I'll stand by the pillar.
Yeah.
Yep. Nothing cuts
this
me
is
in half or drops on my head yet.
No. This is a nice, like polished sandstone. It's really nicely carved. It's newer. The pedestal is newer than anything that you have seen in this city so far. In fact, this whole room is more modern than anything that you've seen in this room.
Okay. I will, or Dutch will flex his knees to basically get his face not right up to the mask, but close enough that he can see through the eye holes.
From the backside or the front side?
From the backside.
Okay.
As though he was going to wear the mask, but he's not actually going to press his face to it.
Yeah. So you move behind the mask and you kind of put your face gently up against it and you look through the mask, through the eye holes, and you see the wall across from the mask. And really, because, I mean, if you were a kid of the 70s and wore one of those crappy ass masks, you can barely see anything to begin with. And so when you look through this, your focus is on a single mask on the wall. And it is a very simple, plain iron mask.
Truly, the mask of emissaries.
Yes, the Mask of Kings. Iron masks.
Also, when I look through this, I don't see any spirits, do I?
No.
Okay.
Are you looking for spirits?
Sort of, because I have two theories.
Mhm.
Either this is the mask, and if I look through it, I might be able to see a spirit, because that's what this mask is supposed to be able to do.
Right.
Or this mask is looking at the right mask.
Mm.
So Dutch will look through the mask and then bring his arm around and point at the iron mask.
Yeah, that's a simple iron mask. I mean, this one over here is much prettier. And you see him it's encrusted with jewels, and you see him just take it off the wall and tuck it under his jacket.
Okay, well, we're not looking for pretty. We're looking for things that Nazis think they want.
And you hear Sanjay from the other side of the room go, "Oh, Dr. Smith, look at this one. This is from India. This is over 2,000 years old." "Yeah, take it, kid." And he takes it off, and you can see he's very happy, and he puts it under his jacket.
Yeah, Dutch will be like, "Okay, all right, I'll just grab it." So
You grab the iron mask.
walk over and grab the iron mask.
Okay. It comes off the wall easily, and it is literally a like super crude iron mask. It's made out of iron. It was hammered into place. It's got like the a center strip that's trying to hold two halves together, and one that goes across right where the nose would be, almost like a cross on the iron mask.
Okay. Now, this isn't like an iron mask in the sense of like a punitive mask, right?
No.
Okay.
At least
All
not
right.
yet.
Dutch will take a deep breath and try to look through the mask.
All right. Before you do that, please roll me an observation plus insight.
Okay.
It'll be a D1.
Since we're at max momentum, I'm gonna take a momentum.
Yeah.
Wow, 3 successes.
4 successes.
4 successes. Yeah, as you are getting ready to put this onto your face, you notice that there's an inscription on the backside of the mask. In Latin, it says Nisi Dignus. Nisi Dignus. You recognize it as Latin. Do you speak Latin?
I do speak Latin. Yeah, Dutch speaks
Okay.
Latin.
So the translation is only the one.
Okay, so Dutch starts putting it on and then pulls back and says, "Oh. Okay."
What is it?
It has an inscription. It says, "Only the one."
Only the one what?
Well, that's all it says. And let me tell you,
What?
Latin's very specific. It says,
Oh, I know.
like, this means only the singular person. Right?
So Nisi Dignus.
Go ahead, Brian.
Have I mentioned that I've been having strangers telling me that I am the one?
You
No, you definitely haven't.
Did
And I
not.
told you guys that when weird stuff happened, we got to tell each other.
There's been a lot of weird stuff happening. Maybe it just slipped my mind to mention, but
All right.
individuals of Yithian persuasion,
Oh,
so it seems, think I am the one.
okay.
Whatever that means.
What is a yith? Yeah, what are you talking about?
I wish I knew.
It's some sort of mind monster.
Oh, like the things we saw out there? This is not good. But what happens if you put it on?
I don't know if we want to find out in here.
Maybe a good call. Let's.
I mean, if this turns out to not be the right one,
Yeah, I guess it'd be better to know now than have to come back.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Doc is going to edge towards the door.
Well, I guess let's try it out.
so I will like it's not like huge, but like Dutch like was holding it like he was gonna put it on. So he will like flip it and like with both hands like present it to him.
All right. I'll basically grab it with a hand to either side and hold it up to my face.
You put the mask on your face, and what you can see through the room, everyone there instantly disappears. And in the place, you see 5 men standing there, and they appear to be wearing clothing that would be of the Renaissance period. They all turn and look at you, startled.
Hello there.
Oh, yes, hello. You are one of the brothers.
Not in any official capacity.
So
as far as I'm aware.
how did you come to be here?
That is a long story.
We have been waiting a very long time.
Okay, well, can you tell me, supposedly, I guess I'm the one, what does that mean?
Could mean many things. Could be meaning that you are son of God. Could be meaning that you are, I don't know, one of many.
I guess. If I say that this seemed to be of some significance to Yith, does that mean anything?
The ghosts all look, or these guys all look at each other. They're obviously ghosts. They look at each other like, we do not know what a Yith is.
Okay.
But if you are seeing us, it means you are very special. It means you are probably one like us. Not a ghost. Not a ghost. That would be terrible if that were it.
Maybe so.
You are on the quest. No?
Yeah. I suppose you could call this a quest.
Well, what can we do to help you?
I guess. What can you tell me of the keys?
Ah, the keys. The gateways to Carcosa. Listen, my friend. Carcosa is very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But that is where we hid the key of Solomon. And the key of Solomon can be used to control great demons. Back in our time, there was a man who wanted to summon forth a great demon into this world, a demon that would have destroyed the world. And he wanted to do that with the key of Solomon. And so, as you probably know, since you're wearing the mask, we created artifacts to open a gateway to Carcosa, hide the key to Solomon there, and then we scattered the artifacts around the world.
Okay. Well, I think we might have at least 2 of them.
Oh? Which
Yeah,
two?
this mask, and
Yes. This is the one that allows you to speak with the dead.
I've gathered. We also got a crystal skull that seems to be neither crystal nor a skull.
They all look at you like, no, we did not have no crystal skull.
Okay. Nothing involving like an octopus type sculpture.
No.
Okay, maybe we
Do
don't.
be careful, though, with those things, because you've heard of the Cthulhu. And they all kind of like nod their heads at each other. He's the son of Yog-Sothoth. So be wary of those things.
Okay, I'll do my best.
What else would you like to know?
Can you tell me of the locations of the remaining relics?
Unfortunately, no, we cannot tell you the location of all of the relics because my brothers, 4 of my fellow luminaries, were my actual brothers, you understand. And I know of where they were going with their artifacts, but I don't know of all of the artifacts.
Fair enough. What can you tell me of the ones you know?
Well, Antonio, my eldest brother, he had a glass orb. And he took it to the island of Murano. You know Murano in Italy?
Yeah, I think I've heard of it.
It reveals secrets. It's a scary device. Then my other brother, Tony, he went to the New World. He had one that was called Book. Spells. Needed to unlock the gate. But he took it to a place of learning in the New World. And then my other brother, Mario, he had a dagger. He turns to the others and he says, you remember where Mario went? And they consult each other for a moment. And then, yes, I remember Mario. He took the dagger to what you would know today as St. Petersburg. It's used to fight creatures, so be wary of that one.
Steven, are you doing that on purpose?
I don't know. Am I doing it on purpose? It seems like the longer you're wearing the mask,
Okay.
The more distant.
the harder it is to hear these guys.
Okay. Well, I think.
But I must warn you,
Yes.
do not bring the artifacts together.
Okay. All
It
right.
would be very
we'll
dangerous for everyone.
try to, yes, keep them as far apart as we can, and make sure that no one else brings them together for foul purposes.
Yes. Someone else is looking?
Oh yes, we got bad individuals looking for the keys and Carcosa. So
Maybe if you meet with Mario, you wear the mask, he will know where the other artifacts are.
okay, we will seek out Mario first then.
Or not.
I mean, this
Daggers
place.
are very dangerous.
I see. Do you know this place of learning? Would it have been Miskatonic by any chance?
Sounds familiar.
Okay. We might check there then. Things are getting a little faint. I think I'm going to go now. I
One
guess.
final thing, if you
Yes.
take the mask to the other places, you may be able to see.
Yes. I'm going to take it off now. Remove the mask.
And you remove the mask, and instantly you are right back where you were. There are no strange Italian ghost men standing around in the chamber, and all of your party is back.
Did he?
Yeah, I was gonna
Did we
say.
hear him talking?
You could kind of hear him saying something, although it sounded more like he was talking, not English,
Mhm.
but like an old version of Italian.
Interesting. Well, I think it's safe to say this is the mask.
Really, what happened? Lizelle
I
seems very interested in what you have.
spoke with some luminaries.
Really? This is
Yes.
very fascinating. Can I see the mask?
I don't know if that would be for the best.
I just want to speak with him too. Imagine the research that I could gather on this place.
I mean, did you hear what the inscription was?
The one. So, I am one. I can put on a mask.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah. If you believe any of this that's happening here, then I think it'd be best that you don't.
And with that, the door, the alcove door, closes with a big kaboom. Critical Hit Punch Hall Nazis is a production of Major Spoilers Entertainment and was produced and edited by me, Stephen Schleicher. If you would like to get a behind-the-scenes making of this episode, be sure to check out the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition at our Patreon page, patreon.com/Major Spoilers. Each week I discuss my plans for the upcoming game session, and Dr. Brad Will is there to share his reactions and advice on how to be a better game master. I will warn you, though, there are spoilers galore in every installment of the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition. So, if you don't like spoilers and don't want to know what I am planning next, don't listen to these episodes. Though, I will say, if you do listen, you'll be able to see how and where the players throw a wrench into my plans, and you're also going to have greater insight into the world that's being built into this campaign. This week we didn't have any named NPCs, so no shoutouts to our associate producers this week, but next week we'll feature a lot of surprises, and more than a few of our wonderful patrons will become NPCs in this game. You want your name to appear as one of these NPCs in future episodes? All you need to do is become an associate producer at patreon.com/Major Spoilers. Finally, we want you to record yourself doing your best on Critical Hit and send it to us at podcast@majorspoilers.com, and your voice will join the growing chorus of fans in upcoming episodes as well. Thank you again for listening this week, and here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2023 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.